Welcome SJA to another episode of A Minute With. Today I have Mr. Dave Rive with us, one of our 4th grade teachers. Dave's from New Zealand. I'm from Australia, which means he's like a weird second cousin of mine. Sounds a little bit like me, but I don't trust him.
We have a slightly better version of the Australian accent. That's how I like to imagine it.
So he says. So he says. What's your favourite thing about working at SJA?
I'd have to say it's the staff and kids, for sure. Everyone's just so approachable and friendly, and yeah, it makes teaching and learning fun.
If you weren't a teacher, what would you be?
I think I would probably be a metal sculptor. Yeah, when I was in high school I did metal work, so that would be like metal technology these days. Right. So we were always building things using blow torches, and we were welding, and yeah, I used to make all sorts of really cool gear for like skateboarding and stuff. And
that's really cool.
Yeah, I loved it. I got great grades, but I kind of gave it up, and yeah, I wish I kept doing it.
What is your favourite food?
There would have to be a meat pie. I mean, you'd understand being an Aussie.
They're ridiculously good.
The humble meat pie, it's pretty special.
Can't be beaten.
Can't be beaten. Yeah, I mean, this is soul food in New Zealand. Everybody loves a pie from the local bakery, and you can't really get it in Korea.
Yeah.
So I'm really missing it, but hopefully at Christmas I'll get a couple in.
Is that the first thing you eat when you go back home?
Absolutely, without fail, every time.
So good. So what is it about Australians and New Zealanders which is so much better than Americans?
Quite a few things, I think. We have some very cool sounding place names. New Zealand has the longest written place name in the world. This is how it goes. Te taumata whakatangi hanga kawa o tamate aure haure turi puka pihi maunga horonuku pokai whenua aki tana rahu. That is the name of one place.
That's pretty crazy. A little ridiculous. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty long. It's a lot to write down. We love to play cricket. I love baseball, but
cricket's far superior.
It's 360 degree action.
Yeah, way better.
And sometimes the game's gone for 5 days, which means, you know, a lot more time to hang out with your
about
mates.
That. Yeah, it's so good.
We also enjoy Vegemite. Yeah, I think for people that haven't grown up with it, they really don't like it. But
the problem is, so like Americans and anyone from any other culture or any part of the world, they think Vegemite is like peanut butter. So they cake it on like you would peanut butter. There's so much on there. Yep. You need to have lots of butter. Needs to be thinly spread Vegemite. And oh my God, it is so good.
Just a little bit on top, hot toast. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's ridiculous. I actually
had nice black, salty, yeasty spread.
I had Vegemite on toast for breakfast for dinner last night.
Oh really?
Not even kidding. It was so good.
We have arguably the weirdest animals on Earth.
Yep.
Like in New Zealand, half of the birds can't fly, naturally. And in Australia, kangaroos and wallabies, well, they jump around trying to box you. That's pretty random. You definitely don't get that in North America. Yeah, also over 100 years ago, New Zealand and Australia, we were the first countries in the world to give women the right to vote.
It's true.
I think that's pretty cool.
So what's your favourite thing about living in Korea or Korean culture?
I would say that the people here are incredibly polite. As a foreigner moving in, you really want to feel like you're welcomed, and people are super welcoming, polite. Also, the food is incredible. I love galbi and also those little onion rings you get at 7-Eleven.
Oh yeah,
those are pretty addictive.
They're pretty awesome.
I don't think they're good for you, but I really like them.
Probably not, but that's all right.
So the
everything in moderation.
Just like meat pies.
That's exactly right. So what's the best advice that you've ever been given?
Well, I guess I've been lucky growing up with 2 parents that are teachers. They were never short of advice. Of course. Probably say my dad. I mean, he told me when I was young, you know, it's not so much about what you say, it's what you do. You're defined by your actions, and I think
it's a good point.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
Do your best. And
so what's the greatest advice or the best piece of advice that you could give to a student?
I would probably say ask questions. I mean, questions drive inquiry, helps us to clarify our understanding and learn as much as we can. You really want to ask questions.
If you could have one superpower, what would that be?
I would love to be able to fly. When I was a kid, I always had these dreams of being able to fly. I just couldn't think of anything cooler, really. You're traveling around the world.
It'd be pretty wicked.
I mean, I love hiking and seeing the views. Imagine being able to fly over.
So, what is the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
once upon a time when I was backpacking along the west coast of the States. I was in a coastal reserve in Big Sur country in California, and I was hiking along this little path, and I almost stood on a rattlesnake.
Whoa.
So I was just walking. It must have been sunbathing on the path, and I went to step forward, and I almost stood on it. And as soon as I saw it, I just leapt in the air. It was like $1 Million Man, slow motion, like over him, landed past the rattlesnake, and just turned around and just bolted. I was terrified. I could feel my heart beating away.
What is your biggest fear then?
Snakes.
Yeah,
obviously.
Of course. Yeah.
Snakes.
So you lived in Korea now. What are some other countries that you've lived in?
Born and raised in New Zealand, obviously. I spent a bit of time living in Canada. I've spent 4 years teaching in Germany, working at Munich International School. I had another 4 years in Singapore working at Chatsworth International School.
So what's your most favourite country that you've ever travelled to?
I fell in love with India. About 10 years ago I was there just backpacking around, and spent a lot of time in the north of India, up in the Himalayas and the Ladakh region, and it was just absolutely amazing. The history, cultural diversity, the food.
So tell me something about you that most people wouldn't know.
I love to doodle and draw. I've always got a notepad on my desk. When I get a few minutes to spare, I'm just always sketching away. Just can't help it. It's just, I'm on autopilot when I've got
Probably why you're never paying attention to stuff.
Possibly.
Just sketch it away.
Or it helps me to focus. I don't know. I love to draw.
So usually I get people, usually the American staff, to say something in Australian to finish it off. But we're going to have to change it up, obviously.
Yeah, naturally. Yep.
So I'd like you, in your best American accent, I'd like you to say, I'm having a hot dog at a soccer match. Because we would say I'm having a sausage sandwich at a football match.
Okay.
Can you say...
I wonder what American accent I should do. Should I go Texan?
I think you should go Texan.
All right. I'm eating a hot dog at the soccer match.
Beautiful. I can't even tell the difference. You've assimilated perfectly into this culture.
Oh, that's awful. Sorry to everybody from Texas. I apologise.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Dave Rive. It's great to speak with you.
Pleasure.
And we're going to finish this off with a pukana, which is...
in New Zealand, a lot of Māori men complete their haka with a pukana. It shows unity with the people around you, and maybe that's something we can bring to SJA.
All right, let's give it a go.
Alrighty, ready?
Let's go.
Oh.